Hi Tigers! We are getting ready to start our very first math unit. Now, we were working on recognizing numbers from 0 to 10. You guys know how to count that number. You know how to write that number. You spent a long time rainbow writing and identifying that number. Now we're going to start matching numbers to quantities. A quantity tells us how many. So I want you to look for this book. It should be in your kindergarten toolkit. It doesn't have a cover page on it. The first page is just our first page in our workbook, but you'll see the top says Counting Beans 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can pause this at any time if you need to go get that. I'm going to set mine aside because there's a few more tools that you need for our math lesson today. Inside your binder, you should have this green paper that has what's called a 5 frame at the top right here. That's called a 5 frame. And today you get to get out your math toolkit. It should say My Math Tools on it. And what I would like you to get out of your math toolkit are your counters. Okay, now you have to be very careful with all of these things because you have to bring all of these back to school when we come back. So all you need out today are your counters. And we're just going to practice counting and representing a quantity. We use the 5 frame to help us frame our thinking. It helps us to know what's missing. It helps us to combine numbers, and I'll show you how. So I took all my pieces out, but I actually only need 5, but that's okay. So let me put this a little bit higher so you can see the whole thing. Okay, and then we're just going to practice counting. 1, I have 1 box filled. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can practice counting on your 5 frame. You're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counters in a row. Now what happens if I have 1 less counter? Now I only have 1, 2, 3, 4. If I put that counter back, then I have 5. Let's go back. What if I take away 2 counters? Then I have 1, 2, 3. We can even think of this in a different way. What if I have 3 red counters and 2 yellow counters? Well, I still have 5, right? I can tell because my 5 frame is all filled up. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I can recognize the quantity in a different way. I have 3 red and 2 yellow. All together, I still have 5. I just want you to practice counting on your 5 frame using your counters, and you can make any combination of colors that you want. So let's see, this time I have 1, 2, 3, 4 reds and 1 yellow. But how many do I have all together? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I always know I have 5 if my 5 frame is all filled up. Now before you get started working on your workbook, I want you to practice pointing to and saying your numbers to 20. Those are in your binder. You can pull it out just like this, and I want you to point and say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoops, it's not quite big enough, my screen, 6, and keep going all the way to 20. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You can actually represent numbers on here as well. Watch. I put 0 counters on 0. I put 1 counter on 1. I can put 2 counters on 2. See, there's 2 there. I can put 3 counters on 3. I can put 4 counters on 4. Okay, or you can combine these counters to make a larger number. Okay. That's just to warm up your brain. You could always do a Monday math warm-up by counting forwards and backwards. You can use your fingers to do that. You can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then count backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, you can go ahead and get your Counting Beans book out. And you're going to do the same thing as if we were counting our counters. So we're going to pretend like these little counters are beans right here. You're going to count how many and draw it on the 5 frame. How many beans do we have? Let's count. 1, 2. So you're going to draw 1, 2. We're going to represent this quantity on a 5 frame. How many beans are here? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Represent that quantity on a 5 frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I want you to do the next 2 all by yourself.